What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. As I promised you guys last week, I will be covering the Donna Adelson trials. So I wanted to get into some of the events that led to this moment and catch some people up who aren't familiar with the case. So let's get into this ABC News article now. The last morning of Florida State University law professor Dan Markel's life was a Friday. He dropped off his two sons at school and then had a quick workout before heading back to his Tallahassee, Florida home. But while still in his car in the garage, Markel was pow-powed twice in the head and left to be unalived. He expired in a hospital about 15 hours later. About a year before his unaliving, Markel had finalized a divorce from Wendy Adelson, also an FSU law professor at the time, but the two remained locked in a bitter legal battle involving their property and their children. Tallahassee police investigators immediately attempted to piece together what happened on the day of his M. They quickly determined it was not a random act of violence and set out to find out who unalived him and why. Below is a timeline based on police information about how investigators say they were able to track down the two suspects. The alleged hitmen that police say were enlisted to unalive Dan Markel on July 18th, 2014. July 18th, 2014. At 11 a.m., Dan Markel drove home after his workout at a gym about 15 minutes away. Markel was heading up the driveway when he got a call on his cell phone. He told the man on the phone that there was someone unfamiliar in his driveway. The man then heard a muffled sound through the phone and never heard from Markel again. Markel was pow-powed twice in the head just as he pulled his car into the garage of his Tallahassee home. Markel's next-door neighbor later called 911 and told the operator his driver's side window was shattered and he's spattered and can't answer. He's inside the car is running, and he's got blood all over his head. He's not responding to me. Markel was rushed to a local hospital. Tallahassee police officers located Markel's ex-wife, Wendy Adelson, early that afternoon at a local restaurant where she was having lunch with friends and drove her to the police station without explaining the details of the pow-powing. July 18th, 2014, early afternoon. The videotape of Adelson's police interview opens with her sitting alone in a barren, white-walled room. When an investigator enters, she tells him a friend just called to tell her that there had been a pow-powing on the block where Markel lived. That's what this is about, the officer tells her as she begins to break down in tears. There was a pow-powing at your home or your ex-husband's home. He has been taken to the hospital. He's not going to survive. Oh my God, Adelson says, sobbing throughout. What happened? I just don't understand. How could this happen? The interview went on for more than 5 hours. Adelson told police that she was in fear and worried that whoever pow-powed Markel could be coming for her children next. About 15 hours after he was pow-powed, Markel was pronounced unalive. Police found no evidence of a break-in at Markel's home and swiftly determined that the pow-powing was no random act and that someone wanted him unalived. July 21st, 2014. While on the hunt for the suspected getaway car, investigators also dug into every aspect of Markel's life for theories into who could have unalived him and why. During an interview, Adelson told police about Jeffrey Lacasse, who was a fellow FSU professor and had been dating Adelson for 9 months at the time. She said Lacasse didn't like Danny because Danny hurt me. 2 nights after questioning Adelson, police brought in Lacasse for questioning on July 21st. Police verified that Lacasse had been hundreds of miles away at the time of the M, but over the course of 3 lengthy interviews, Lacasse gave police his theory about the crime. Lacasse told police to not focus on Adelson, but on her parents and her brother Charles in South Florida, who ran the family dentistry business. They hate Danny in a way. I've never seen this kind of obsession. I mean, their hobby is hating Danny. Lacasse is heard telling the police on video recorded during his interview. I would just say I would be investigating Charlie Adelson. I don't know if he did this, but if you're looking at someone, don't miss him. July 23rd, 2014. Police didn't have much evidence to go on, but they did get a lead from the neighbor who called 911 and told them on the day of the pow-powing. He had seen a light-colored car that looked like a Toyota Prius back out of the driveway and head down the road after the pow-powing. On July 23rd, 5 days after Markel's M, investigators released a grainy surveillance photo of a light-colored Toyota Prius and called it a vehicle of interest in the unaliving. In their investigation, police found clear signs that Markel was stalked by 2 men in a Prius before the M. As news reports of the M began to circulate in Tallahassee, a resident in an apartment complex called police saying that they had seen a Prius-like vehicle parked in a parking lot, and that 2 men got out of it and started walking down the nearby nature trail. Markel's house is just a short walk from the nature trail. Police later obtained video shot from a city bus of what they believed was the same green Toyota Prius. Although you can't see the driver or read the license plates in the video, a toll transponder can be seen in the windshield of the Toyota Prius. Investigators said it was a strong sign that the unalivers weren't from Tallahassee because there were few toll roads surrounding the city. On the 1 year anniversary of Markel's murder, the Tallahassee Police Department released a new photo of the Toyota Prius that they believe was driven by whoever M'd Markel. Based on the image of the toll transponder seen in the car, police then pulled the toll records for all the Toyota Priuses heading into the Tallahassee area around the time of the M. The toll records led them to a car rental agency in Miami, Florida, that rented mostly hybrid cars. It turned out there were fewer than 10 Toyota Priuses rented during this period of time in the state of Florida that could have been the same car. The rental agreement for the car showed that it was rented by a man named Luis Rivera. Using the listed cell phone number, police were quickly able to confirm Rivera's identity. Police say Rivera is a leader in the notorious Latin Kings gang, which has an especially strong presence in Miami. A second telephone number was also written on the rental contract with the word brother written beside the number. The listed cell phone tracks back to Sigfredo Garcia of North Miami. Garcia is a childhood friend of Rivera who also has a felony record and numerous run-ins with the law. Using cell phone data and GPS info, police said they were able to trace the trail of Rivera and Garcia in that Prius, which the two men in the vicinity of Markel's home at the time of the M. May 2016, police announced first-degree M charges against Rivera and Garcia in May 2016 for Markel's M. June 2016, Rivera and Garcia were indicted in June of 2016 and were facing the D penalty if convicted. Both have entered not guilty pleas. They are scheduled for separate trials later this year. Court documents made public in June linked Garcia, one of the alleged hitmen, to Wendy Adelson's brother, Charlie Adelson. His former girlfriend was also the mother of Garcia's children. The arrest affidavit for Rivera and Garcia alleges that Charlie Adelson reportedly did not like Markel and did not get along with him. In a probable cause affidavit, police alleged that Garcia and Rivera were enlisted to commit the egregious act, and that police believed the motive for the unaliving stemmed from the desperate desire of the Adelson family to relocate Wendy and the children to South Florida, along with the pending court hearing that might have impacted their access to the grandchildren. Prior to the 2013 divorce settlement, Markel had successfully fought Wendy Adelson's attempt to move with her two young sons to South Florida for a new job and to be closer to her family. But prosecutors have thus far declined to charge anyone in the Adelson family in the M of Dan Markel, and state prosecutor Georgia Kappelman said there's not enough evidence to do so. The investigation is ongoing. Lawyers for the Adelson, in a joint statement issued earlier this month, stated that none of the Adelsons, Wendy, her brother Charlie, or her parents Donna and Harvey, had anything to do with Dan's M. Investigators have spent the past 2 years reviewing every shred of evidence out there, every phone record, financial record, text message, email, internet search, everything, the statement says. We understand why the government has put the Adelson family through this type of severe scrutiny, but nothing has turned up that supports this fanciful fiction that the Adelsons were involved. Obviously, that has since changed. Sigfredo Garcia was found guilty of first-degree M and conspiracy to commit M and was sentenced to life in prison. Luis Rivera pled guilty to second-degree M and was sentenced to 19 years in prison. And Charlie Adelson was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And obviously, now Donna Adelson has been charged as well, and we will be covering her trial. So let me know what y'all think about this story in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the like.